Alright guys, Will here from ZalTechReviews.com. Today I'm taking a look at another watch from Hitori Watch Company, which are exclusive to Nomon watches in Singapore. I've got two here. Obviously this is the Yoshino. I've got the older one on the left that I reviewed last year, and I've got this new one that is called, excuse my pronunciation, but here goes, the Somei Yoshino Shirakaba. Whether that's right or no, I've no idea. I've looked at other watches from Hitori Watch Company, mainly the Habuka 39. I can't remember the what was it called? Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, we're concentrating on this, and this is a new collection called it's not just the Yoshino, it's the Somei Yoshino. So I believe there will be other ones coming, different colours maybe, in the future. But the reason I'm showing you both watches here is I'm going to show you the differences and what upgrades have made over what I think is the original. But I mean, these are totally different watches, really, other than like the size and the case shape, but everything else has been changed from the ground up. So what do I make of this new one then? Right guys, this Hitori, what is it, Somei Yoshino Shirakaba. Try and say that when you're pissed. It's not going to happen, is it? Hang on, I was just putting my glove on. Before I go into the main review section of this new one, I'm going to show you the differences between the two. This one here on the left is the first Yoshino that I reviewed last year, and obviously this is the new one. Right, the differences I've spotted is the finishing is of a much higher level on this new one. The case shape and size is the same. The bracelet is the same, however the clasp has changed. I'll just turn this over. Right, you can see the clasp length of the original, and it's been shortened. Wait a minute. It's been shortened on this new one. They say it's for comfort. Personally, I thought the original one was fine. But even just looking at these two watches, you can see the difference. The brushing on the new one, it's a lot finer than it is on the original. Right, that was the first thing I spotted. The second thing is the rotor. The rotor on the new one is a bit more special. They're still blue, however, it was relatively plain on this original one. Look at it now. You can see it, and there's also an inscription along the bottom there on this custom rotor, and it also has that kind of, I wouldn't call it a turbine effect, but it's really nice, and the finishing is great. I'm just trying to show you a better angle. Aye. Now, if there's anything else, obviously the dial's completely different, and they have made improvements to it over the original, even though I thought the original was fantastic. But you can see all the differences in the dial. They've took away the frame, the date window, the silver one, and they have made this one, it's sunken right into the dial, and they've also colour matched the frame itself to the rest of the dial. Now, that's pretty much it. I mean, better finishing and everything. The crown, the clasp, no the crown, the rotor, the clasp, the dial. Aye, that's pretty much it. Right, so we'll get that out the road now. We'll concentrate on this one. Now, price of these, $539 US. Quite expensive, and I'll talk about that a bit more later on. I'll go right into the dimensions and all that, and I'll go run through all the spec, and I'll just give you my thoughts as I go through it, basically. Right, case diameter on this. These are my own measurements, as per usual. Just leave that. Oh, I'll move it there, actually. Right, case diameter 39.3mm. It has a total thickness of 11.8mm. That's including the sapphire crystal. The lug to lug is 46.8mm, and the watch has a 20mm lug width. The total weight with the bracelet sized up for my 6.8 inch wrist is 142 grams. Perfect for a sports watch, in my opinion. Disappointingly, the movement inside it is still the Seiko NH35. 21,600 vibrations an hour, which is 3 Hz, 6 ticks per second. Custom rotor, as I just showed you, it's hackable self-winding with a 41-hour power reserve. To be honest, at this price, $539, that's expensive for a watch that's just got an NH35. However, would I buy it? Aye, of course I would. Look at it. It's stunning. So, I've actually paid more for a watch with an NH35 in it. What was it? I paid £500, which was, what, near $600. I think that, what was that for again? The Zelos. It was a limited edition. There was only like 20 made, 25 made maybe. I can't even remember the name of it, but it had a funky dial and oh, it was amazing. But I got offered stupid money for it, so I sold it. So we had a profit on that one, surprisingly. Right, where am I? What am I talking about? Right, the case. Same as the original, but the finishing is much better. Just like the quality of the polishing is a step above what it was before. It's really nice. It's like glass, a mirror. It's that good. You can see that it's got really fine brushing on the sides. Then you've got this large chamfered edge that runs right along the top, which is polished. The transition between the polishing and the brushing is flawless. You can also notice that this is a bezel-less watch. Well, kinda. But because the watch is thin, and it does wear on wrist perfectly, you would think, oh, it's going to be like a Seiko tuna or something like that. Nah, it's fuck all like that. That's like a hockey puck on your wrist, that thing. Not my cup of tea. But you can see like the bezel there, part of it, but it's bezel-less along the top, if you get my meaning. The bits you can see at the top and bottom is polished. And remember what I said about the thickness, that includes this sapphire crystal, which is slightly boxed. It's got a beveled edge around the edge, but it does sit slightly proud of the rest of the watch. But it's still only, what, 11 point, it's under 12 mil thick. And it's really nice. Now, I've lost my place. Oh, drilled lugs as well. Forgot about that. Know that you're going to take this bracelet off because it is sexy. 20mm lug width, tapers down to 16, back up to 17.5-ish at the clasp. Clasp is signed, milled. I think that's a pressed upper. Maybe not. Either way, it's thin. 4 levels of micro adjust as well. Screw pins for sizing, and they're really good quality screws as well. Took me about, 2 or 3 minutes to size it up for my wrist. Easy peasy. Signed, as I said, with the Hitori logo in Japanese, obviously. These watches are designed in Japan, but I don't think they're actually made in Japan. But it's just like any other watch, even Swiss-made watches, half of the parts are made in like China or Asia at least. Anyway, that's brilliant finishing, as I say, and the build quality superb. No, it stays nice and firm between the lugs, the bracelet, all good. Obviously 3-link, and try to get it in the right light. There is polished accents on the mid links, but just at the side. It's polished on the sides as well. The only thing I would say is the clasp. I mean, it does its job. But at this price, I would expect on-the-fly adjustment. And just as a little bit of feedback, is because there's only all these polished accents on the bracelet, I would have thought they would have polished the chamfered edges along the side there, just to give it a continuous flow as it goes over. But they never done that. They did make the effort of chamfering the edge there, but it's not polished. It's just a wee niggle. Apart from that, it's fine. Perfect. Right, I will put in B-roll and all that if I leave the watch flat there. Oh, by the way, the crystal has got a shit ton of AR coatings. And they're on the underside. I think this one is a lot more legible than the original, because majority of the time, like the hour markers, and these are multifaceted hour markers, by the way, and you get a bit of a light show when it's on wrist. It's not going to come across in camera very well, but you take it outside in natural light. I'll tell you one thing, right, is, see when I show my, like if a watch turns up, right, I'll show my wife, and to be honest with you, it's like, normally when I show her, it looks like rigor mortis is setting, you know what I mean? She's that bored, she's not interested in watches. But when I showed her this one, she really liked it. She goes, "Oh, that's lovely." And I says, well, it is a bit of a homage to the Grand Seiko White Birch, which I've said all along is, I mean, that's one of my grail watches. I've got 2 grail watches that I would love to own. And that is the Grand Seiko White Birch. I'll put the model number up on the screen. And also the Amiga Aquaterra. However, I'm not in a financial position to have either of those, because I looked yesterday at the Grand Seiko, and from an authorised dealer, or even from Grand Seiko themselves in the UK, you're looking at £8,950. That's fucking expensive as fuck. But it's worth it. I know it's worth it. And I really want one. But this is going to have to be what's on my wrist until the day that I win the lottery, or whatever. Right, back to where I was. Right, the dial, obviously the star of the show. Now, Noman watches, I've noticed, because the watch just got released today, I've noticed on their website that they're calling this dial silver. Trust me, it's not. It's white. If it had been silver, I mean, that's one of my pet peeves. I hate silver dials, man. I think they look cheap, chintzy. This is 100% white, so I think Noman watches should actually change that in their website description or the spec list. Because I'm on my... If you go to the link in the description, right, it takes you to my website, and it's my specifications, what I think everything is, by my sizes, weights, everything. It's not, I don't copy paste spec lists or spec sheets from a manufacturer's website. I do it all myself. That way I know it's 100% correct. So as I was saying, this dial, white. If it was silver, I wouldn't be wearing it. And to be honest with you, there's nothing on my wrist today because I just took this off, gave it a clean before I done the review. And when my review's finished, it'll be going back on my wrist. That's why it's set to the right time. Now, I would have reviewed this watch yesterday to get it out early, but I was waiting on some things. Well, basically, there was no way I could have released it last night. So, it's been released today, which is the main date of release. So, right. Oh, I was talking about the dial, wasn't I? Lovely hour markers. There's no lume in this watch. The hour markers are multifaceted, and as I say, it's like a light show. Different date window, and it's lovely. I'll give you a close up with that if I can. Aye, sunken into the dial. It looks so much better than the first one. I really like the colour matched the frame to the dial. That's a good idea. I like that. The text on the dial, it just says Yoshino Automatic, and obviously their logo, Hitori watch, it's applied as well. Really nicely done. The hands are different to the original as well. They're still Dauphine hands in my opinion, but they're a lot more like the hands that you'll find on the Grand Seiko that I mentioned earlier. Really nice. Obviously, this is a $500 watch. It's not going to have the level of finishing like the Grand Seiko does, with the... Oh, I forgot the polishing. Zaratsu polishing. It doesn't have any of that, but I mean the finishing, as I mentioned, and the polishing is pretty bloody good actually. Right, next. Water resistance is 100 metres, which is perfect. The case back is screwed down with an exhibition display. I'm not sure if it's sapphire on the case back, but it doesn't really matter. And I believe there is a unique serial number because this is a limited edition. There is only 100 of this colourway being made. Obviously I have one, and I'm very grateful to Noman Watches for sending this out, because the owner of Noman Watches, Dennis, he knows I'm a fan of these, and he knows I'm a white dial fanboy. So I was going to review the Cherry Blossom, but that was like the older series, the same as that one, but with a different dial colour. But I'm so glad I waited and I got this, because this is a step up. What's next? Crown 6mm, screw down and signed. Focus. As you can see there, it's like brushed and polished, the crown. Just small polished accents, which is good. Really like this watch. It was one of the watches I was really excited to see. I probably got more excited to see this than I did the blooming highly praised Formex Reef that I reviewed a couple of weeks ago. I mean, that watch is expensive. Right, where to buy Noman watches? Leave a link in the description. Goes to my website, and there's a direct link to where you can buy this. And they are in stock. You can also pick the serial number that you want. Fabulous. Or you can just select a random number, and it doesn't really matter. To me, it doesn't matter. Warranty wise, 12 months, which is disappointing. They could easily put a 2-year warranty on this, because I've had 0 issues with this one, which also had a year's warranty. 0 issues, and it's still unmarked. No scratches, no nothing, no even a slight scuff on the clasp. And it's the same with this one. Right, that's basically it, guys. Do I recommend it? I wish the price was a bit less. $539. Even if they made it $499, that would have been I'm nitpicking here, because if I wasn't a watch reviewer and I seen this, I'd just buy it. I really would. I'd have paid $539, no problem. Because I really like it. Really like it. Talking of which, award. Well, it's not getting a value for money award, is it? But it's still getting platinum. Because I highly, highly recommend it. If you're a fan of that Grand Seiko, as much as I am, you'll love this. And you'll save yourself about £8,500 on it. Right, aye. Platinum award, easy peasy. Right, guys, how long have I been talking? 20 minutes, that's long enough. Go and buy it before they run out, because they do run out quick, these. When I reviewed the original, I reviewed it on the day of release as well, and they were sold out that day. I'm not saying that my review, well, saying that mine was the only review on the day of release of that one, and it sold out the same day. So I suggest you get your arse in gear, head over to Noman Watches and buy one of these before they're gone. Right, guys, I'm off. Thanks very much for watching. Please like the video. Comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Subscribe as well. Good idea. It does help the channel. At the very least, like the video, Muppets. Right, I'll see you in the next video. Toodles.